Salakia. Here you're gonna be prepared to see apparitions walking down the street, man. Like those horror movies, etc. You got a game called Dead by Daylight. Okay, they got these downloadable iconic characters from Pennywise to Michael Myers to Ghostface and all these particular minions that Esau make millions of dollars off of. You're gonna have spirits like that created for vengeance, all right? And what put me in the mind is that is going into the book of Wisdom of Solomon 17, okay? So it says, for great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed, okay? Meaning that the judgment was so horrific, you couldn't really write them and put them in layman's terms because the diversity of the judgments, of the Lord's judgments, was one that was out of normality, so to speak, okay? Because you got a judgment here and judgment there. But when you got some shit like 13 ghosts and then you got some Stranger Things type apparitions that's plaguing your ass, you can't really put that into layman's terms, man. Okay, and that's why this whole July 5th was CERN thing. And and like I said, things like that interests me, man, because I like things about parallel universe. I like science fiction shit. It's quite interesting. So it always intrigued, even though we know that there's no million versions of you out there. That's science fiction. We get that. But the concept of different realms have always been fascinating to me, man. Like, I'm a big fan of the Mortal Kombat series. So you got different realms within the game of Mortal Kombat, okay? You got the Earth realm, obviously. Then you got what they call Outworld. Outworld is basically alternative Earth realm, okay? It's just dark and gory. And it's ran by this dictator, this conqueror by the name of Shao Kahn, all right? His job is to merge the Earth realm with Outworld so it can become basically one within itself because he wants to take over. All right, kind of what you see in the end of Stranger Things 4. At the end of that, what's this clown's name? Not Vector, but it's called Vecna. Basically, once he was defeated, okay, which they didn't kill him, he basically tried to merge the realms, and that's what Stranger Things 5 is going to be about, okay? Because 4 ended on a cliffhanger ending. But within the game of Mortal Kombat, you got the Chaos Realm, you got Edenia. Edenia was more like a utopia, more like a kingdom, like a kingdom of heaven type ordeal, because the Odinians were gods, basically, man. They were basically gods, okay? So you got the Nether Realm, which represents the hell. You know what I'm saying? You got Chaos Realm. You got a lot of realms in there, and they want to merge the realms. So it makes sense as like the scriptures go into realms, but it says, therefore unnurtured souls have erred. It says, for when righteous men thought to oppress the holy nation is the nation of Israel, our people, the Negro, Latino, and Native American. This is going into the Egyptians. And who are the modern day Egyptians? You Edomites, man, Americans. Okay, even you Jakes are considered modern day Egyptians because even during the time of Egypt, you had Jakes that was living and doing well in the courts of Pharaoh, and it says, and they being shut up in their houses and prisoners of darkness, okay? Darkness, not only darkness, but darkness in their minds, okay? Apparitions, the fact that they oppress the people, being off, out of the grace of the Lord because the Egyptians wasn't the Lord's people, like some of you bug out Jakes in the Kemetic community teach, oh yeah, that Kemetic shit, what the hell, you niggas don't even know what Kemet means, man. And another thing too is Alexander the Great, his 4 generals, Darius the Mede, okay, Xerxes, all these men existed, but when it comes to biblical characters like Daniel, Ezekiel, John, Yahushua, that was made up. How the fuck were they made up when you go into history chronologically? The Bible goes into the historical counts of these particular kingdoms. The Bible speaks on Xerxes. It speaks on Alexander. It speaks on Philip the Macedon. It speaks on Ptolemy. It speaks on fucking Antiochus the Fourth or Antiochus Epiphanes, man. It speaks on these people, So how in the hell can those people be real? But yet when you go into Yahushua, all of a sudden, the Lord, he didn't exist. Get the fuck out of here, man. It was evidence that the Lord exists, bro. They got evidence on it. They got records on it. If you go back into Italy, one of the oldest statues of Yahushua being crucified on a cross, he was a so-called black man. Okay, he had the gray woolly hair and everything. And this is in there in Italy. And where's the Vatican located, man? So they know it's just you fucking niggas don't get it. You just don't get it, man. But the hell with you. You're going to be destroyed any goddamn way. All right. So anyway, it says here, being shut up in their houses, the prisons of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, later exalted or exiled from the eternal providence, man. Okay, because the whole point, they couldn't even move around because it was so goddamn creepy. Like, you go outside, you hear things, okay, you hear spirits, you hear all types of chaos, you hearing screams. You know what I'm saying? You hearing wind whiz by you. That's where they get the concept of a haunted house from. They get it right from these precepts. So when you go to like Six Flags or, you know, any particular theme park, if you ever visit a haunted attraction and you got all the chaos and shit popping out at you, this is where they get it from. This is basically the haunted house, man. And that's all America is a big haunted house, you know? And it reads here, and it says here, for a while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins. They were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. Okay, CERN, God particles, different dimensions, intergalactic travel, whatever the hell he wants to call it. You know, demons, ghosts, spirits, whatever the hell you want to call it, man. Okay, and America is full of ley lines any damn way, because the way that they built these structures, the way that they set up these particular cities, these things are not set up like that by coincidence. Like, I believe, like the Washington Monument, I believe that it's erected 666 feet. Okay, I believe that's from the base that goes underground a couple of feet all the way into the top of the obelisk, man. I believe it's erected 666 feet. You know, and where did they get that monument from? Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And these particular skyscrapers, these buildings, like if you go to Chicago on State Street, you got what's something called Harold Washington Library. If you look on top of the library, matter of fact, you can do a Google search. Matter of fact, I can do it. Google this. Let's go here. Harold Washington Library roof. Harold Washington Library, bam, Chicago, Illinois. We're gonna watch this. It's gonna bug y'all out. Now, if you pay attention to these particular statues of Molech, these owls, you look at these gargoyles here. I don't know if this picture really does it any justice, but if you see this, they're on every side of the roof. You know, and why, you got to ask yourself, why would they put this up there? Why would they put this style up here, these owls? Because this represents their power. This is where they harness their energies from, man. Like, you got the statue of Molech, the owl of Molech, whatever you want to call it. And these things are very creepy, because I remember a couple years ago, we was down there holding camp. We was on our way to the camp, actually. And then I was pointing up. I said, hey, brothers, look at those. And it had a very ominous feeling to it. So I was like, one day those going to come alive and they going to fuck somebody up, man. Okay, those are actual apparitions. These are ley lines, man. Why would a library have these particular symbols on it? You know? Look at this. They're just looking down on the people. You know, and it should be a clear resolution. There we go. How the hell is this a fucking iPhone 12 and the resolution sucks, man? I've been having problems uploading videos all damn day. It took me 7 hours to upload a fucking 15-minute video. So, Salaki, I'm a little aggravated, man, you know, as you can tell. But look at this. Bingo. Now, if you see the eyes of this thing, this shit, this is scary. You know? Look at that. Esau knows what he's doing with this, man. He's not stupid. Okay, matter of fact, this is another building here. Power and Light building. Like Kansas City. Now, this building, man, this is a creepy-ass building tonight. This looks like just a total owl, man. Like a total statue. Like it looks like an owl, man. Matter of fact, you got to see it at night when it illuminates. It's pretty creepy, because, you know, they have certain colors that represents the certain time of the year, etc. Like, I literally looked at this building one day, man, you know, and I literally got sick, bro, because the spirit of it was so fucking heavy. You know, it's called the Power and Light building. And up here is a shrine, okay, which probably nobody in this building have access to, but it looks like a face, man. Okay, and these are how they built their ancient structures in Egypt and Babylon. So that's not done by coincidence. That's actually done on purpose, man. You know. So Esau knows what he's doing, man. Why? Because he's a damn witch. And when it's lit up red like that, it looks, I mean, it's just, you can see this, you can feel the spirit, you can feel the evil behind it. You know, ugly ass buildings and shit, man. And this is one of the oldest buildings. I believe it was built in 1931, if I'm not mistaken. You know, yeah, it's highly demonic, man. It looks like Molech or some shit. But this is the things that we're gonna have to deal with. All right. And it says here, for neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance. Now power and the fire might have given them light, but neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten up the horrible night. Right, man, because it was so terrified that even light wouldn't even do them justice. Okay, just like if you lit up a flame or a barrel and light it on fire, it wouldn't even give off light because the hell they were catching, man. You know, and it says, in the illusion of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting wisdom was reproved with this grace. So basically what Pharaoh did was call his witches, his sorcerers, his magi's to come in and try to emulate what the Most High was doing, and they couldn't do it. It made their power look like shit because you had top level witches. Pharaoh was a witch, man. So you had top level witches and warlocks that was in this province. And it says, for they were reproved with this grace, for they had promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul who was sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. So they tried to basically ease the plagues by healings. And then what happened? They got bugged out. Okay. And it says here, and they were laughed at like, what are you going to do with the Lord? It says, for though no terrible thing did fear them, right? Because these were top witches. These were top warlocks. Like, they was the one that was causing a lot of the hell in Egypt prior to the plague. So they was like, we ain't scared of shit, nigga. We the one that's opening up these dark seances. Who gonna scare us? But look, it says, for though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, right? Because the fact that the black magic or the evil that was happening, okay, when the Lord merged the realms, because basically they're dealing with the fourth dimension, as you want to say. I mean, they was in the third dimension, but the Most High basically opened up a portal on their ass, man, and let these demons to convince. And they show you that in various movies, you know. And it says, and they died for fear, denying that they saw the air which could be of no side be avoided. It says, for wickedness condemned by her own witness is very tumultuous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasted grievous things. So basically, your mind, man. Okay, like you got a movie with Sandra Bullock. The brother put it in the comment board the other day. It's called Bird Box. I think it's called Bird Box. Yep. Being plagued with mental apparitions, man. Because the Lord said that, hey, basically he's going to give them over to their imaginations, man. Okay, and that's a horrible thing. But reading here, it says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors, which succor goes into helper, which reason offereth. But the expectation from within being less counted the ignorance more than the cause that bringeth the torment. But they sleeping the same night, that which was indeed intolerable, because they was being plagued by nightmares. They couldn't sleep. It says, in which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell. Hell means destruction, man. Okay, so the Lord opened up a different dimension on their ass. And this is the same thing that Esau is trying to do on the left-hand side. You see what I'm saying? So what's going to happen? Once all hell breaks loose, the blackouts come and they're permanent. Hey, Esau is already operating with the Hydro Collider, man. Splitting 6 billion atoms at the speed of light within seconds. Come on, man. Dark matter, different particular particles are disappearing into thin air. So they feel like, well, maybe they're going into a different dimension, a wormhole, so to speak. You know, it says, it will partly vexed with monstrous apparitions and partly fainted, and their heart failing them for sudden fear and not looked for came upon them, because they wasn't expecting it. It says, for whensoever there will fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. But for whether he was the husbandman or the shepherd or a laborer in a field, he was overtaken. Damn. And endured that necessity which could not be avoided. They called it necessity because this was a sure judgment. It says, for they were all about with one chains of darkness, meaning the fucking rich man, the laborer, the prison guard, the regular citizen, they all caught it, man. Every last one of them caught it, man. That's why the scriptures say that, hey, man, small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, that's going to receive that, you know what? Okay, so the Most High don't discriminate. You can be just a poor man working in the province under Pharaoh, and if you ain't with the Lord, hey, Lord got your ass, man. You know? And it says here, it says, whether it was a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, of pleasing falls of water running violently. Okay, so just imagine you hearing flocks of owls, man, and crows and ravens, and it's pitch black. You know, in a place that there's not even any trees in a particular area, you hearing flocks and waterfalls. Like, we ain't even by a damn river. How the hell is a waterfall? And you don't see shit? That's terrifying. Okay? It says here, or of a terrible sound of stones casting down, meaning boom, something fall right beside you. It says, or running that could not be seen of skipping beasts, or roaring voice of most savage wild beasts, or rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them to swoon to be feared, right? Because they couldn't see it. They heard it, but they didn't see it. It says, for a whole world shine with clear light, and none would hinder in their labor. But over them only was spread a heavy night, an image of that darkness which should afterward receive them, but yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness, right? Because, I mean, the darkness was dark, but it was all in their mind, too. Like, the Lord put demons on their ass, man. Okay, verse 18, chapter 18. Nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light. That's why it says that only the Israelites had dwelling in light in their dwelling places. But on this side, 2/3 of you going to be cast into this darkness too. It says, whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape, because they also had not suffered same things, they counted them happy, right? Because we was exempt from that judgment. Okay, but for they did, it says, but for they that did not hurt them now, of whom they had been wronged before, they thanked them and besought them to pardon for that they had been enemies, man. Because remember, hey, Pharaoh was like, y'all got to get the fuck up out of here, man. Y'all causing too much hell. Y'all got to bounce, man. Okay. But anyway, one last precept, Exodus 10:21, it says, then the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand towards heaven, that there may be a darkness over the land of Egypt, even a darkness which may be found. And we're reading the details of that particular night, because it didn't go into it here for real, but we're reading it. This is why the Apocrypha is very important. It says here, and Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness over the land of Egypt 3 days. Basically, the Lord allowed him to open up a fucking portal, man. 3 days. And it says, and they saw not one another, neither rose any for his place for 3 days. So they went through this for 3 whole days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwelling. Okay. And Pharaoh called unto Moses and said, go ye serve the Lord. Only let your flocks and your herds be stable. Let your little ones also go with you. So he kicked us out of the land. Because look, it says here, it says, but for they that did not hurt them as of now, of whom they had been wronged before, they thanked them and besought them, pardon them that they had been enemies. So, yeah, brothers, man, it's getting ready to go down here. But that's all I got to really say on that, man. These blackouts are going to be so gruesome once the Lord really sets in.
Are you ready for rolling blackouts?
Really falls apart.
For the lights to go out?
Here and there, well, don't hurt nobody. But
the power grid operators across the U.S. now warning that is exactly what is about to happen. And they're trying to blame this whole thing now on a transformer shortage.
So anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Bashim and Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a Baba Ball.